Hey everybody, it's Bree Cunningham, your trusted South Carolina realtor here. Joining me today is going to be Shatoya Cobb, your mortgage broker with Motto Mortgage. Now, Shatoya is running a little late. She got stuck in traffic, but is she going to join us later? But I did want to go ahead and get started for the ones who are already on here. I think I want to make sure I ain't missing nobody. I want to say, hey, hello. This is the first time homebuyers class. So in this class, we're going to be covering things like your pre-approval, taking you through the whole journey of how we're going to get you into a home, going over credit tips, any credit hacks, and any advice that we can give you. Also opening up the floor for any questions and answers that you guys may need to know, right? Because we want to get a home, and whether it's 2025, 26, or whenever you're ready to purchase a home, I want to make sure you guys are prepared. Okay, because I get a lot of people reaching out and they ask me what I need to do, right? I'm ready to buy a house, but I don't know what to do and I don't know where to start, right? And I will tell you tonight, this is the best place to be. This is where you start. Okay, cool. I hope my screen is sharing. I think I am sharing my screen. If you guys don't know, this is being recorded. Um, So I just wanted to make sure you guys could see the screen. And that's a beautiful picture of me and Shatoya Cobb. Also, if you are attending this webinar, you will receive a $200 moving credit towards moving service when you close with me, okay? All right. So first things first. Okay, let me move this out of the way. All right. The home buying journey, right? So the first thing you want to do is get pre-approved. Okay, your pre-approved is the first stop. When you reach out to me, I'm going to ask you, hey, have you been pre-approved? Have you went to a mortgage lender? Anybody? You're going to say no, possibly. If you say no, I'm going to talk to you about your credit, whether you looked at Credit Karma, whether you have the Experian app, Equifax app, or TransUnion app. Take a look at those numbers, look at your credit score. I will tell you, most lenders recommend you have a 620 credit score before moving forward with that purchasing and pre-approval process. So I tell everybody, see if you're close to being in a 620 range before we get you over to the lenders. More than likely, I have several lenders that I use, but a majority of the time I do like to use Shatoya because she is a mortgage broker. So she has a wide variety of loan programs that we can use and have options there, okay? So the first step is the pre-approval, right? But once we get that pre-approval, we get to do the fun part, which is going home shopping. Girls like to shop, and especially me, I love to shop. So the main thing is making sure, I'll send you guys my website, which is therealtorbree.com. You can look at my website and be able to Google anywhere within my MLS, which is South Carolina, in the Canopy area. So that's anywhere from upstate Columbia, even up towards Charlotte way. So if you guys are looking in the area, feel free to go on my website again. That's therealtorbree.com. Okay, but as well as you can always look at Zillow, realtor.com, Redfin, homes.com. All those are good search browsers that you can use for your home search to be able to look at houses. I tell my clients all the time, I'll send you houses that I feel like matches your criteria, what you said you may like. But, if you see something, feel free to send it to me. I'm not going to be like, oh man, feel free so we can go look at the house. I can schedule a showing and we can get you into the house, right? Okay, so after we go shopping, the next thing is the offers and negotiations. And I tell all my clients, this be the most stressful part of the home buying journey is putting in an offer, because a lot of clients are like, okay, Bree, what happens after that? After that, we wait. We wait and we go back and forth and we negotiate over price, or anything that we may need in the contract that wasn't said before. But the offer is the really hard part that everybody's like antsy about, because you don't know if you're on the buying side, you don't know if your offer is going to be accepted. Or like what recently happened to me, I went into a bidding war. So you don't know if that may happen, and you have to go back and forth and see where your finances are and whether or not you really, really want this house. So you got to be really intentional when you're out here home shopping so we can make those negotiations stick, okay? But once all that is over, the next thing is that we go on the contract, which is the fun part. And then once we go on the contract, the next thing I like to tell my clients to do is make sure you have at least $1,000 saved, because inspections and appraisals are next. And normally the inspection is about $500. And when you're doing the inspections, that's only, have an inspector coming in, looking at the house, making sure the house is up to par and qualifies you, especially for my first time home buyers for FHA, because you won't have any foundational or structural issues wrong with the house for FHA. So you do have to get that inspected. And so they normally look at things like plumbing, HVAC within the house, letting us know how old the roof is. So there's a plethora of things that inspectors do. And once we look at the inspection report back, we take a look at that to make sure the house is up to par to where we want it to be. And the next part is appraisal. And that's just the bank going out and saying, hey, what the seller is saying the house is worth is actually worth, and it appraises for that price, because you don't want to be overpaying for a house that the house is not worth it and it doesn't appraise at the bank. Okay. All right. And then the last step is final loan approval. Once we get through all this, get through the underwriter, sending back and forth all of our paperwork, we go to close. And that's my favorite day. Closing day, you get to the lawyer's office, we sit down, the lawyer goes over his little speech, and you sign, no lie, like a million papers. And in my past clients tell you're going to be in that lawyer's office for a good hour, just sign here, initial here, but he or she does tell you what you are signing. So just have the expectation that you're going to have a big stack of papers like this to sign before we close. And then once we close, you get to move in. All right. Want to make sure I ain't missing nothing. All right. So how do you get pre-approved for a mortgage? Like I said, the mortgage pre-approval is what we need before we go shopping. It determines your purchasing power. Because I tell everybody, I don't want you looking at $1 million houses, and you may not be approved for $1 million house. You may be only approved for 350,000. You may be approved for 100,000. So the pre-approval is very, very, very important to have. So that way, your budget and where we need to be looking, right? Because we don't want to be looking at $1 million houses and we know we're not going to go get a $1 million house. Okay. So it matters before shopping for a home that we know our budget and we know what we're able to afford. Because the biggest thing that I tell my clients that I want you to know is how much you can afford, because once we close, those mortgage payments are now your responsibility. Okay. And the things that you need are going to be your W-2s, your income statements, your bank statements, your paycheck stubs. So all of that, your lender would definitely ask you for when doing the application, okay? And I wanted to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Sorry, I gotta get used to this. Because I must. All right. And then the next thing is how to make an offer um, on a home in today's market, right? So we want to understand market conditions. So right now, the market conditions, it's kind of back and forth. I would say it depends on where you are. I would say like I deal with the Charlotte area, what they consider the Charlotte area a lot. In the Charlotte area, it's more so of a seller's market, but like in markets such as like Greenville, Spartanburg, it's more of a neutral market, so it can go either way with buyers or sellers. Um, but the biggest thing is that you know that because it helps make a strong position when we get ready to make the offer, right? So if it's seller's market, the seller's gonna be looking for to be on the up and up with their side. If it's neutral market, then there's some negotiations that can go on there. It can play either way on either side. So you do want to determine your offer price. Can I go back? Based on that. Sorry. Include any contingencies. I always include contingencies. So it's based on inspection and appraisal. So I always tell my clients like, if it doesn't, the inspections doesn't go through the way you want to, or if it doesn't appraise at a certain price, then it's okay for us to back out of contract. And that's what we call like during our due diligence period. We normally get like a week or two to do the due diligence period. We do the inspection, do the appraisal, get you apply for the financing for the home, and then we have time to back out of the contract. And in the contract, it will always be in the terms and conditions. During the due diligence period, you may have to pay $200 to $500, depending on the situation, right? To back out of the contract, because sometimes, unfortunately, contracts fall through. Okay. But for good reasons, right? Because if a house is not, up to par, if it had termites or something like that, you don't want that house. So it's a good thing to have those contingencies and clauses within the contract that allows the buyer and protect the buyer to back out of a home sale, right? But after your offer is accepted, we are in the contract, baby. And I love posting I'm on the contract. All right. I don't see no hands or nothing. I think I'm doing good. I'm checking my timer too. I think I'm all right because we're 10 minutes in. All right, cool. So, how to shop for a home. When you shop for a home, you want to prioritize your needs versus your wants, okay? Because everybody wants an island. Everybody wants new construction. Everybody wants to live in a nice neighborhood, and some people don't, right? You might not care to live in a new construction area that has an HOA, or you might need, a big yard because you have a big family and have dogs and things, or you need a bigger house because you need more space. So you need to prioritize your needs versus your wants when going home shopping. Set the budget. Sometimes I tell people you want to try to stay at a little bit below your budget. That way that gives you a little wiggle room to kind of see what's out there, right? Because I will tell you, like in the Charlotte metro area, houses price point is about 300,000 plus, but like in the Greenville area, houses about 200,000 plus. So you got to try to see what your budget is and where you want to live and where you want to move based off locations, because housing costs are different, right? And it could be the same house, but in different area costs more or less. All right. Um, Home tours and what to look for. I always take my clients out. I love to go physically in the house, and I always like to do like little mini videos just so you'll have. I also will send it to you so you know how you felt when you was in the house, right? Because it's nothing like taking clients shopping and they're like, oh man, look at this master bedroom. Look at those recessed lightings. Look at that vault ceiling. And so and I take note of the things that you like. And then I ask, is that a necessity for you? Is it something you like? Like personally, I like it when the toilets and the master bedroom are closed off. So is it a priority for you? Do you care? Some people don't care, right? So home tours are always nice to go on. And that way, I tell everybody go whenever and at night, so you notice the neighborhood, notice your neighbors, knowing what's going on, notice traffic, know how long the commute is going to be from your new home to your job. So those are things you got to look at. Notice the schools that's in the area. If you have kids, you want to take a look at that. So you know what schools and districts that they're going to be in, and how you're going to prioritize and making schedule things for your life. And so how your realtor helps is I kind of help you make a plan and putting all that together. So once you come to me, we talk, right? And I get you your little questionnaire, ask you like, okay, what type of home you're looking for, 3 bed, 2 bath, location, um, how soon are we looking to move? Have we been pre-qualified? We go through the whole little spiel. And once we go through the whole little spiel, I take that information and then I start putting together a plan and start looking for houses that we can go and see, because I don't want my clients to be overwhelmed. That's the major thing I don't want to do. I don't want to overwhelm my clients because inventory is starting to pick back up. So there's a plethora of houses that can meet your criteria, but of course we're not going to look at 1 million homes before we close on one. I'm gonna take you to a few, see what you like, see what you need, and once we find that one, we write that offer. Okay. All right, so I want to make sure again. Yeah, it's my first time using Whip, and I'm super excited. I don't see a thing. Make sure I ain't missing nothing. I'm checking the chat too. Sorry. I don't know if I can see this. I want to make sure I want nothing in the chat. All right, cool. Hey, y'all. Hey. I want to make sure I wasn't missing nothing. I'm learning. I'm learning as I go. Okay, now I can see myself. Cool. All right, so credit and budgeting for home ownership. The importance of your credit score and qualifying for a mortgage. Like I said, starting off 620. I know sometimes we like to tell people a minimum score of 580, but we gonna always recommend you at least get it to that 620, so we don't have to, deal with issues later on down the road going through underwriting. We can go ahead and get that approval. So at least try to get your credit score to a 620. Okay, just keep that in mind. 620. Um, Shatoya normally, I will say this. I don't know if she's on. I didn't see anything. I don't know if she came on yet. I think she's still in traffic. But I will tell you, when I send people to Shatoya, she is amazing at putting together plans for your credit score, whether it's going to get a secured credit card or, you know, contacting the credit bureaus and having something deleted. She is really good at telling you, you know, what you need to do and making sure you follow through on that plan. Cause she literally sets it out. And like if you do exactly what's on that plan, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Um, so that's a couple little tips and tricks just to improve your credit score. Understand your debt to income ratio, which I learned like a lot of people don't know that creditors do look at your what they call DTI. So they look at what you owe versus your income. And so when Shatoya gets on, she'll talk a little bit more about this, but you try to want to make sure that your debt to income is a little under 45%. And on her website, it also at mortgage model mortgage Shatoya at modelmortgage.com. If you guys go on there, she has a debt to income calculator. So you want to look at things like your rent and car payments and add all those things up. And then, you know, see how much you're making and it puts it together for you. But you want to keep it up under 45% so we can get that approval. She also has a mortgage calculator on her website. We'll post that later. I need to find it and post it in the chat. So you guys can go on her website and it has all that good stuff. Like if you just browsing for a house and just say, okay, I want a house for 300,000, right? You can go on there, put in 300,000, put down your down payment information. It'll calculate all that good stuff. And so that's the last thing. Planning for upfront costs. So down payment. Ooh, I tell everybody, if you get an FHA loan, FHA loan is 3.5% down. Okay. So if we're doing 3.5%, we need to have at least, I'll tell you about like if you do 200,000, have at least about $6,000 or $7,000 saved so you can put down that down payment, right? But as you guys may or may not know, South Carolina does offer down payment assistance programs, and we'll talk about that a little later. Anybody got any questions? Because I want to make sure I'm not missing nothing. Hey, if you're just attending, I want to make sure I'm not missing nothing. Um, I want to make sure I'm slowing down because I'll also just be jibber jabbing. I like to talk. I do have this little poll. Let me see if I can make this poll. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me know. Oh, you guys been answering the poll? Oh, so we do have some people answering. In the poll, it asks, you know, where you are in the home process. Some people said we're just getting started. Anybody actively searching or pre-approved? Nobody's on the contract yet. So if you guys didn't see the poll, make sure you go in, answer the poll so I know, like, where you are. Are we all just getting started? It's okay if we are. Sometimes that happens. I want to make sure I ain't missing nothing. Let me check my phone, make sure Shatoya ain't texting me. Oh, you guys can't. I'm glad. Thank you. I don't know. Thank you, Justin. Now listen. Uh, tell me now if you can do it. Let me know. Oh, chat with everybody. I'm gonna see. Let me say, hey. I don't know if I don't want to show too much, but let me make sure y'all can chat. I think it should be good now, Justin. You can try it now. I think we can chat. You know this. Thank you. I ain't know that. All right. So some first time buyer pitfalls to avoid. Skipping that pre-approval. A lot of people don't want to be pre-approved. They come to me like, I'm just ready to go look at the house. No, baby. I would love to go show you a house. I love to go show you plenty of houses. But we can't skip that pre-approval. We need that pre-approval, okay? Awesome. I see somebody commenting. Good. Now I can see the chat. Okay, we need that pre-approval because we need to know that budget. You know what I'm saying? We got to figure out how much we can afford because the last thing, like I said, I want to do is be showing you this $1 million house and a $1 million house, some payments be about $10,000, and you'd be like, who's paying for that? Because who, right? But we want to make sure. But if it's in your budget, baby, let's go. Let's go look at some $1 million houses because I'm ready. I'm ready for my $1 million client to come on through. Let's get that pre-approval. Go look at some houses. On Lake Wireless somewhere. Let's go. Down there with Justin and Meg. But you want to make sure you're not overextending your budget. So it is good to get that pre-approval and not ignoring the additional costs. Because like I said, I tell all my clients, try to have that $1,000 saved for your inspections, for your appraisal. So you want to make sure that when I'm asking you or going through this questionnaire and I say, hey, how much money do you have saved? If you don't have any money saved, it's okay to let me know. That way, sometimes you never know. I might be willing to help you out with something, but just know that you do want to have something saved because you are now a homeowner and you are now responsible. And also make sure you ask questions. And if you don't know, ask questions. If I don't know something, I'm asking. And Justin, no, I'm quick to call. Hey, Justin, I don't know how to do, where to go. Let me know. Um, Sorry, y'all, I keep checking my phone because I wanted to make sure. 'Cause I know Shatoya was running behind, but I wanted to make sure that if she came on, I could let her in. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and proceed. Anybody got any questions before I go into the slide? Hey, hey, hey. Any questions? So far, no questions. I don't see nothing in the chat. If you got a question, drop it in the chat. Let me know. In the chat, let me know where y'all at. Let me know where y'all from. Is everybody from South Carolina? Because I can't really see who in the chat. Are y'all from South Carolina? Are we in South Carolina? Are we actively looking to be in South Carolina? Because, hey, I never know. Y'all might be in South Carolina, but looking to move to North Carolina. I'm looking to move to Georgia. And guess what? At our brokerage, which is JS Premier Real Estate, we have agents that is licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. So if you need any help, let us know. I might can refer you to somebody. I ain't got my North Carolina license yet, but you never know. Oh, hey, yeah, South Carolina. Okay, awesome, awesome. Yeah, let a friend know. Let a friend know. Too, if you on here, let a friend know. Join the chat, watch the lives. All right, so let me go back. Make sure I ain't missing nothing. So I want you guys to understand your loan options, right? So one of the loan options that we have, conventional loans. So conventional loans are ideal for buyers with strong credit and down payment. So strong credit being like, your credit score is probably 700 plus. A lot of people in the 700s normally go after the conventional loans, normally like 1% down payment. Those are the plus of conventional loans. But even if you do have a 700 plus, it's still okay to get an FHA loan. Okay, a lot of first-time home buyers go after the FHA loan. Um, like it says right here, it's great for first-time home buyers with lower credit scores. Because like I said, we want to strive for that 620. They look for you to put that 3.5% down. A lot of people, and I tell my clients, borrow from yourself. So if you have your 401ks, that is a good place to start because you're borrowing for yourself. You don't have to get that money back. Put as much money as you can in your 401k to save for that down payment on the house. And you can go to your company, let them know you're trying to get a house or HR. If you don't know if you got a 401k, make sure that is always a good thing to have and be saving. If you don't have a down payment, you can also be gifted the down payment. Like if you got mama, daddy, sister, uncle, brother, cousins, they might have a little bit of money for you. They say, hey, I know you're looking to get a house. Hey, here go $1,000. Here go $2,000 that they're gifting you towards that down payment for your house. So don't shut that out. VA loans for my veterans, for my military service duty, active duty people. Them VA loans, y'all sleeping on. Get them VA loans. It's there for you. Actively get those VA loans. I had somebody contact me the other day, got their ELC. So them VA loans is definitely legit. Definitely have cheaper rates if you are active military duty. Use your VA loan wisely. Okay, it's there for you. It's one of the great benefits there is being a military service member. So get a VA loan. You working hard for your country. Why not go ahead and buy you a house? You protecting the country. Go ahead and put your family up. Why not? USDA loans for my rural areas. If you like me, I'm from the country. I'm from the country part of Lancaster, South Carolina. Down 97 if you know. Okay, get them USDA loans out there in the woods. Okay, 0% down. 0% down if you move out there in that country. I tell everybody, move to the country if you can. It might take 30 minutes to get to the closest Walmart, but move, okay? If you want that 0% down, and people who be talking about, I don't want no neighbors, them USDA loans, 0% down. And I think right now that 5.8% interest rate, y'all heard that 5.8% and interest rate are like 6.9, and you can get it at 5.8, get that USDA loan. All right, and then you have your fixed and adjustable rates for your long-term mortgages, okay? All right, I ain't missing no check. Okay, cool. Y'all got any questions? Anything else I need to cover before I move on? We good, we all right? All right, cool. So why choose Bree and Shatoya? All right. So me personally, I'm gonna give you personalized guidance. I tell you, my phone don't stop ringing. It's ringing now. Somebody messaging me. Somebody right now. All day today. I've been on the run. But not for real. I do get a lot of personalized guidance. You can call or text me any time of the day, ask me anything, and I'll definitely do the best I can to assist and guide you on this home buying journey process. I have people who reach out to me, they're like, oh, I'm ready. And then they're like, no, I'm not ready. And then I'm like, okay, well, guess what? I'm gonna keep contacting you until we get ready because you said you wanted to buy a house. You said you need an accountability partner. Hello, where we at? What we doing? I'm gonna call you. You gonna break? Let me know your work schedule. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna let you know what's going on throughout the whole process. Okay, that's just how I am. I like to take people from A to Z. So access to my professional network, like I said, my brokerage is JS Premier Real Estate. It's a plethora of us. It's a plethora. I know it's more than 20 of us agents, all at one brokerage firm. And Justin probably can jump in the chat if he's still on and tell you how many people. He got about 1,000 agents all over everywhere. He just told us that last month we in Myrtle Beach. So it's it's a lot. We network everywhere. So it ain't nowhere you could probably go and possibly move that we don't have referral agents or, working with other partners. I do have a referral partner that I work for, so or work with. So, let me know where you're trying to go and I'll be more than happy to assist you get there, okay? Local market expertise. Yeah, I'll be out and about. Especially in Charlotte, I'll be out and about. So when it comes to knowing the market, listen, I be knowing like what a spot said, where to go, where to eat, where to drink, because you want to know what's around, especially when you're moving. I tell everybody like I done been in South Carolina, I done moved to Georgia, I done been in Atlanta, I'm in Charlotte now, I done been in the upstate, I done been just about everywhere, Columbia, I done been just about everywhere. So ain't too many places you'd be like in this little, you know what I'm saying, in this little Carolina area that I ain't never heard of, that I'm gonna let you know where to go. Also, if you guys use me, right? And if you attending, I'm gonna see everybody, everybody's information that attended, and we close, I'm gonna give you this $200 moving credit. Because I like to tell my clients, a lot of times we get so excited about moving, getting a house. The biggest thing though is that we don't realize that within getting a house, you got to move from your current situation to a new situation, and paying U-Haul fees or getting movers or finding somebody to help you move into your new house sometimes can be an extra cost. One of those extra costs that we don't tend to think about, we tend to leave out. Like I had one couple that was like, we didn't know, they were moving from one part of Spartanburg across town, and they were like, we had to call, we was calling our family and nobody was around. Nobody helped us move. And I said, you know what? This is something I'm going to start offering. Another thing, I am working with somebody that is a part of ADT, right? So security systems. A lot of people don't realize in some of these houses, and even new construction, they don't offer these security systems. So if you're not actively going out looking for, a ring or blink or however you want to secure your home, that is another thing you want to think about because you are now a homeowner. So that is now your responsibility to make sure that you're secure and protected. And I advise everybody when you get in a house, a person in a house, to get those security systems so you know who in your yard. Because you like me, I'm those. I watch my Ring camera go off and I watch it throughout the day. And I gotta make sure you ain't no suspicious looking person around my property because I have little kids that I want to make sure, you know, in myself that I look to protect. So that's another cost that people don't think about when purchasing a home. Anybody got anything? 'Cause I think I'm close to the end by myself. But even though 'cause I don't know if Shatoya, maybe she got caught up, she ain't said anything, but I will tell you she is a joy to work with. She is a very nice, she's a sweet lady. I've worked with Shatoya in the past. Yeah. I worked with her in the past. Let me see. I'm so sorry. I don't know if I can stop for just a second if y'all don't mind. Maybe. Um, I'm just gonna think yeah, I left her. And this is my fault because I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm new to all these Zoom links, these webinars. So sometimes it be me. And she said I didn't send her the link, y'all. So it be me. It be me. I'm slowly but surely learning because y'all, last month I did this, y'all, and I did it via Microsoft Teams and was trying to use their links. Epic fail. But you know, you learn and you grow. You learn and you grow from it. Cause I was like, I didn't know I couldn't get nobody to come in. So I thank y'all. Like if you attended tonight, thank you so much. You don't know how much that means to me personally that you guys came out, attended, listened to me talk. Cause sometimes I don't like to hear myself talk. Um, so I do appreciate it. I am gonna see if I can get her on because I do see her message. So I apologize. Um, I'm gonna give her a little few seconds to come in. I'm trying to think what else. Um, so for my people who are still here, are we ready to get a house? That's my biggest question. You think you're ready right now? You think you're ready? You still getting ready and preparing yourself? Cause I tell y'all, I reached out to somebody that was like, they were like, I'm so glad you called me. I had been looking for realtors. I really couldn't find anybody. So I told myself to be a little bit more active on social media and really reaching out to people. Um, because a lot of times, I'm not gonna lie to you, some realtors, they will ghost you. I'm not gonna lie. If you're not ready within a certain point, sometimes you will get ghosted, or you might ghost us. You might ghost me. I don't know, you know. Preparing yourself, getting ready. Okay, cool, cool, awesome, awesome. But that's all you can ever do. I want to make sure. I don't know that sent off. So, have you guys checked your credit score? That's my biggest question. Have y'all checked y'all's credit score? You know where you're at? Are we working on them? Sometimes I tell everybody credit karma is good if you are looking for a car, but not necessarily a mortgage. Because one thing I did learn, and I actually learned from Shatoya, is that did y'all know you got 28 FICO scores? I ain't know that. Nobody ever told me that. I was thinking the whole time, just three credit bureaus and they all come up with whatever score. I didn't know there was actually like 28 FICO scores that they use. They use FICO 2, FICO 5, FICO 8. I didn't have a clue. I don't think a lot of people know that. So I think, it would be good, as everybody say, putting in those financial literacy courses because who knew that? Nobody told us that. I don't know about y'all, but nobody told me that growing up that you got 28 FICOs and all these different lenders use different FICO scores, and that's why you got those different scores. Like you have 28 of them. that you probably don't even know about. And you don't even know half the time which one they use. I will tell you a lot of the mortgage lenders use FICO 5 and FICO 8. Um, I don't see. Yay! Shout out to the increase in your scores. Woo, 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 woo. Shout out to the increase. Yes. Okay. I don't think she's able to join y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish and kind of close that because we at 6:35. But I didn't want to I'm gonna message her real quick. You ever been like, you ever get a new job and they do these Zoom meetings, Zoom calls, and y'all be in the chat and they be in these little breakout rooms and none of that little extra. That's how I feel right now. Except for my breakout room is on my phone right now because I don't even know. I haven't gotten that advanced. Somebody gonna if you good with Zoom, have to do some more Zoom classes. I see. Looks like more people on here. I don't know, Shatoya, are you here? I think she may or may not be on. Hey, Shatoya.
Hey,
Hey.
how is it going? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can y'all hear her
Okay.
chat? Look, I feel like Casa not. Yeah, chat, y'all hear her? Let me know.
But if you can hear me, I'm sure they can hear me then.
Awesome. I was just telling them about how you was teaching me about the 28 FICOs. I didn't have a clue.
Yeah, definitely. What 28 different FICO scores from that you can see on credit.com. Is that what you're talking about?
Uh-huh. And then what's the most common one that lenders like to use? Oh,
All
she
right.
told you because you.
So when you say the most common one, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so when you say the most common one, it's what we're looking at, or of course, it's going to be all three of your FICO scores, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. But primarily what we're focusing on, of course, would be those mortgage scores. And I like to tell people it's the oldest FICO scores that were ever created, right? So that's why I always recommend, going to credit.com or even Experian.com or using the Experian app. You can see those mortgage FICO scores there.
Okay, awesome. And then I am see if I can get back to sharing. Or did you? Can you see my screen?
I can see you. That's
You
what I
can see
see.
me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, let me go back. I was telling them, I said, I ain't the best at this. And I was telling them about the first time we did this. We couldn't let nobody in. We couldn't be live. I got to figure it out a little bit.
Good.
I wanted to go back. It allows me to share my screen, but you see this? Um,
I can see your PowerPoint. Yes.
okay. I'm gonna go back to this one because I'm on, but I kind of girl, I ain't know if he was okay. I was like, oh,
Traffic is real. Look, yeah,
yeah,
traffic, honey. Mm-mm.
yeah. I kind of went over this. Some of the loan options. If you could, possibly dive into some of the loan options that's out there for us.
Yeah, so there's lots of different programs. I always like to say, whenever I'm talking to first time home buyers, that typically what we want to do is just look at your personal situation because yeah, there's tons of programs, but there's only one program for you, and that's based off of what your situation is, your credit, your income, how much money you're able to put down, what you want your payment terms to look like. So there's so many different programs. So we have, of course, conventional loans, as you have listed here. And those are going to be ideal for individuals that do have your higher credit scores, or you're willing to put more money down, like 20% down. That helps you avoid something called mortgage insurance, which is actually an insurance that goes to protect the lender in the event that the property, if you were to foreclose or default on your payments, it helps that lender recoup money from the government in some cases, or from the actual, institution that they're paying that fee to. But again, if you put a little bit more money down, 20% down, that'll help you avoid that additional monthly cost on that required insurance. Um, FHA loans, most of my clients that I work with, they go with FHA loans because they are easier to qualify for. You could put less money down. You could put as little as 3.5% down, which you can do that with conventional too, typically 3% down if you're a first-time home buyer. But standard on FHA is 3.5% down. You still have a mortgage insurance premium, which protects the lender in the event that your payment, you were to default on your loan. But again, it's a lot easier to qualify for as long as you have at least a 580 or higher credit score. You can put 3.5% down. We do have an option where if you have a 500 or a higher credit score, you can become a homeowner as long as you put 10% down.
Mm.
Um, we have, yeah, our VA loans, which is, of course, for our veterans, and that's 100% finance. You can be currently actively in the military, or as long as you served in the military, and you were honorably discharged, you'll be able to obtain that benefit. Really, really easy program to qualify for. We can go down to 500 with the credit score on that one. Then also we have an option with no score on VA loans as well as FHA. So if someone doesn't have a credit score, maybe they've just, started, maybe just graduated from high school or college, and you haven't really, been using credit. If you don't have any credit scores, but you have alternative credit, like for example, you're paying car insurance, even life insurance, or a cell phone bill, or something like that, as long as we have at least two trades that we can show that you've been paying on for a year, we can usually use that just and not even have to worry about any kind of credit score. Um, of course, USDA is 100% financed, just like your VA, and that's for if you're looking to purchase a home in a rural area. We do look at your income on that, so you have to be within a certain range. Right now, I want to say for most areas in South Carolina, you're at like 118,000 combined income, and we are looking at the entire income in the household, even though all of the income in the household is not being used to qualify. We're looking at that to make sure that you're under that collectively, everybody in the household, to be able to move forward with that type of loan, just because it is income based. Um, and of course, I see you have the fixed rates versus adjustable rates. So most everyone that I work with when it comes to, especially your first home, they're going with a fixed rate, and that just keeps your monthly payment as far as your principal and interest predictable. So that doesn't change. Of course, an adjustable rate is an option with some programs. Right now, we only have that with conventional. And, typically you do like a 7 year, they call it like a 7 year arm. So for the first 7 years, the rate might be fixed at, I don't know, 5%. And then after that 7 year time frame, your rate could adjust anywhere up to the market rate, or even higher in some cases. It just depends on what's going on with the mortgage rates. But a lot of people will do that if because it's a little less expensive. I know a lot of credit unions offer adjustable rates. Um, I personally don't think that they're a bad option, especially if you can have a lower rate for, temporarily for a few years. I just say be mindful of, once that time frame comes up, or as you get closer to that, consider refinancing so that way you're not worried about, the rate going up much higher than you can actually afford at the time. Um, so, that's the difference there. I see you say understand long-term versus short-term planning. So again, that's pretty much what I'm talking about when it comes to if you're just trying to get in, you want your payment to be lower in the very beginning, have maybe that, like I said, that 4%, that 5% interest rate for a few years, and you're okay with temporarily, having that, and a few years later, maybe you're going to be making more money or whatnot, and you're okay with the payment possibly increasing, or you have a plan to get out and refinance it to a fixed rate.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that was a lot of information. Any questions on that, on any of those programs?
I don't see no questions. I don't see no hands.
How about for you, Bree? You have any questions?
Oh, no, no, no. I don't have no questions.
All right.
Um, so my next one was like, why should they choose to work with us, Shatoya? Why do you feel like they should choose to work with you as the mortgage broker?
Yeah. So as far as working with myself, I say it's because I have that personal attention. I want to make sure that one, you have the information that you need to become a homeowner. A lot of times, I want to say people just they want to give, how can I say this, more power to me or even other individuals like my peers. My biggest thing is making sure that you're aware of your situation. My philosophy is you should have more information than I do, right? So you should know more about your credit, and absolutely more about your income. And you should actually be able to say, hey, I can actually move forward right now. No one else should have to actually tell you that. That's kind of how I feel, and especially when it comes to finances, right? Even if you're going to finance a car, try to get approved to get a credit card. I think that knowledge is power. You should be able to get all of that information. All the tools are out there, and that's something that I definitely promote. Like you mentioned, the credit.com, knowing all 28 of those credit scores, knowing where you stand each and every month, especially if you're getting ready to buy something. Using other tools like my website. On my website, I have mortgage calculators that allow you to put in your income. You can even put in, what your debts are, like what your car payment is, if you have credit cards, student loans. You can put all of that information in, and it will tell you exactly how much you can qualify for based off of the information that you put in. And it kind of knows, where the rates are. So it's giving you a realistic idea of what you can expect if you were to submit your application. So that way, one, you know exactly where you are before you allow someone to pull your credit. Again, I just think that knowledge is power. It's very important for you to know where you are. And I do credit plans. If you are a little bit lower with your credit score, you're not quite there. I can help, put that credit plan together. Of course, that's something that they would have to do on their own, but it is something that I would do for free. I don't charge people to do that. A lot of folks, like credit repair specialists, will want you to pay a monthly fee or even an introductory fee to even tell you, what to do. And oftentimes they're doing things that might actually hurt you, not help you. But again, what I'm doing is making sure that you're actually set up for success. And not here to take advantage of anyone, but to be a partner and to make sure that you're successful in accomplishing your goals.
And she does it very well. Tell
Thank you.
everybody. My goal is Shatoya.
Thank you. Thank you. My thing is it's, it does take a lot of time sometimes, but I'm very passionate about home ownership. I think it's important for us to own. It just allows us to have access to so many things that, that we wouldn't, right? If, for example, I have clients that have been able to expand their businesses and even start businesses because they own a home. I have, right now with a lot of things going on, there's folks that are getting ready to go to college and they don't know if the student loans will or will not be there. But because their parents own homes, or in some cases, I even have people that are in that have recently graduated from college and they're about to go back to school. But because they own homes, they have a solution. They can actually pull from their equity if need be, so that they can go to school and finance their own education versus having someone else tell them if they can and cannot go.
Exactly, and that's the key thing about home ownership is being able to pull out the equity, because you can't pull out equity out of
Mhm.
rent. Once you pay the rent, that's it.
Yeah, that's
You
exactly
want to
right.
invest.
And that's one thing too that we need to be mindful of when it comes to renting. I work with a lot of investors too.
Mhm,
They have mortgages. These investors have mortgages and they're paying a lot more than you will pay with that being your primary home. One, you're paying less for your interest. Their interest rates are typically in the double digits.
mhm.
You're paying less for your taxes. Their tax rates are 2%, in some cases, even higher than that, than what you would pay. Their insurance premiums are more expensive. So, when it comes to them determining how much they're going to charge you, it's based off of all of these different factors. So a lot of people will get upset with the person, the landlord, but they have bills to pay just like you do, right? So, not trying to say that want to be in their pocket, but at the same time, if you can actually become a homeowner and those expenses are in some cases maybe I'd say half of what they're paying in some cases, it would be to your benefit to do that. You're actually going to be helping yourself. You're going to save a lot more money that way because again, these landlords, they have no choice but to go up on your rent. Their taxes are going up, their insurance premiums are going up, and again, their interest costs are they pay a lot more than you do by that being your primary home.
Yeah, and I tell everybody, like, I'm in the Charlotte market, so what we're
Mhm.
saying now is, like, rent is just as much as the mortgage. So
Right.
everybody's feeling it due to inflation, like, everybody's feeling it, whether
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
a homeowner.
That's exactly right. And you can't blame the investors. I mean, what are they supposed to do? Like they have bills just like we all do. I know some, I've coached them on this. I've actually even told some investors this is not a good time for you to buy, right?
Mhm,
Because some of them are breaking even, like
mhm,
barely breaking even. And you have folks that will get upset with them because I mean, ultimately, all they're trying to do is pay the bills, and you can't get upset with them.
right.
Become a homeowner, right? And do the same thing that they do. You can be a landlord. You can buy
And
multifamily
you can be a
property.
landlord. Look, listen.
Yeah, yeah, you can buy multifamily property, right? You can buy a duplex, live in one of the units. You're still paying less in taxes. You don't pay the same thing that investors pay when you live in one of the units, and you can rent the other one out. You become a landlord and a homeowner at the same time.
Anytime somebody paying your mortgage.
Exactly. And sometimes it does work out like that.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Do we have any questions? If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Should tell you if you have a second, you can drop your website in the chat. I was telling them that earlier about all the cool little tools on your website. So if you're still here, I had a couple of people earlier say they were ready.
Yeah.
If you're ready, feel free. We can go ahead and start applying today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely not going to get any better. I mean, definitely just at least see where you are, especially if you do have questions about, hey, can I qualify? What does it take to become qualified? How much do I need? All of these things. I'm here to answer those. And again, my website, I did put the link in the chat. So once you go there, you'll see all of the different tools there on the site, the calculators. There's some additional learning material. Whenever you're ready, you can even apply. And then we can take a look at your application and see where you are.
Awesome. All right. Oh, we almost at time. I didn't have anything. If you guys have any questions, you can come off mute or you can drop it in the chat. I did list my contact information. My phone number is 864-913-3950. You know, you can call me, shoot me a text. I'm always available or try to at least be available. I try to make sure I'm constantly following up with people. I also have Shatoya's contact listed there. And then you have her website. Does anybody have anything? Want to make sure we, somebody ripping up on the outside.
I guess it's time to go. All right. Well, I guess not. So thank you, Bree, for having me. I appreciate it. I apologize for my tardiness, but it looks like we hit it right on time.
Thank you, Shatoya. Thank you guys for joining. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, please make sure that you reach out to us and we'll talk to you soon.